Today on the Real Fan Review, we go over It Chapter 2, just non-spoilers, of course, and we'll get you guys into what our movie routines are. Welcome to the Real Fan Review. What's going on, podcasters and YouTubers? This is Hav here, one of your hosts from the Real Fan Review. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be going over It Chapter 2. We're going to do a little non-spoiler. We're going to do spoilers review maybe the next episode because we have a couple people who didn't see it. And we also have my brother who's not here today for his own good, happy reasons. He'll let you guys know more about that maybe next week. And I know he had a hot take on the movie, so we're gonna save that review for next week, the spoiler review. But with me today, we got our boy Sanj.
Hello, everyone. As always, it's a pleasure to be with you.
And we got our man in the chair, Al, with us today.
What's going on, everybody?
Now, today, guys, again, It Chapter 2, we got a chance to see it. It's pretty crazy, pretty insane.
Yeah.
So we're going to do non-spoilers on this.
So I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Because
go for it.
Me and Nina were supposed to go see the movie, right? Because we were talking about it all week. We had this whole weekend planned out, right? And then just like the universe conspired against us, right? So it starts off with, I call up my babysitter, who will remain nameless mom, you know. So, hey, mom, you know, oh, hey, babysitter.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. We drop the kids off at X time tomorrow, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Oh, well, you know, I have to go to this person's house because they invited me and blah, blah. But, hey, I told you, sorry, I got to go. And then, on top of it, I got to give her a ride there.
So now you're not only not doing me a favor.
My mom punked me, son. She's like, yeah, I'm not doing that for you. And by the way, come over here and give me a ride.
I got you, man.
So, and it's your mom. What are you going to do?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Got to take care of moms. Anyhow. So that was the first thing. That was that, so I call her from work, whatever. Then, you know, some stuff happened at work, you know, had to talk to a couple people or whatever. So that really didn't sit well with me. I'm like, come on, people, do what you're supposed to do.
Uh-huh.
Then I come home. I try to come home a little early. Come home. All right, fine. I go upstairs, say hi to everybody. Nina comes out the room. So she's sick. You know, so all the plans just went out the window. So you know what I did yesterday? Instead of like doing the movie and the party we were supposed to go to, I just went up on my roof and I was on my roof all day yesterday. I'm like, you know what? I got this ladder. These gutters need to be taken care of.
Do something.
But really what it was, I was pissed and I didn't want to talk to nobody. So I was like, I'm just going to sit on my roof.
Which goes into shout out to all the parents that still try to see movies, especially with young kids. It's tough. It's hard. Shout out to the babysitters that help us go to the movies when they do help us. So. And even when they don't help us, man, we get it, man. It's hard. It's raising children and being movie fans is a hard thing sometimes, but we make it work.
Thank God for Netflix.
Netflix saves us, man. Yeah. But listen, man, in regards to it, I know, Al, you saw it, man. Without getting into any kind of spoilers there, like what was your thoughts on it? Did you end up enjoying yourself? Did you like it?
It was one of those weird movies for me. Like, I enjoyed it as I was watching it.
Right.
Amazed me. I liked everything about it. The cinematography, the graphics. You know, there were some scenes where they went a little bit overboard with the CGI, but it demanded it for the scene.
Right.
Afterwards, as I got to think about it, that's when I started to not diminish its impact on me, but it raised more questions.
Right.
And basically, I don't know if it's the movie maker's fault or Stephen King's fault.
Right.
Because they had only a certain, they had his source material to base everything on. So it almost made me want to go read the book.
Right.
To see if the questions I had were answered in the book and they just didn't put it into the movie.
Yeah, not enough time because I mean it was a pretty long movie.
It was 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah. Did it keep your? So I didn't get to see it. You guys got to see it. So for that 2 hours and 45 minutes, that's generally a long movie.
Did not feel it.
You did not feel so. It
Did
did
not
keep
feel
your
it.
interest, and you were on board for the ride for the
Yeah,
2 hours
I could
and
say it
45
kept my
minutes.
attention. I started to notice how long it was towards the end when I was saying, wow, I feel like we've been here for a while and we haven't even seen these certain scenes yet, or we haven't came apart like towards the end, and then it kind of like just came up on us, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But it didn't feel like, oh my God, when is this gonna end? You know, it was definitely a long movie, but it was done good. And it's weird because even though it's a movie, I keep like comparing it to the TV movie, and the TV movie is about what? It was about 6 hours long altogether too, right? It was
Yeah.
like 3 different episodes that they put out there. It felt like it was a TV movie, but done really, really well.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it a lot. And I was telling you guys when we left the theater, it doesn't compare to Endgame at all, or Infinity War. But my comparison is like where Endgame is epic and it's awesome. To me, Infinity War is still the better movie. So it's kind of like that with me. Chapter 2 is epic, right? Chapter 2 is just insane. It's a good story. It's told well, but to me, I still prefer Chapter 1 more.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed Chapter 1 just a lot more, especially because I saw it this week getting ready for Chapter 2. But it was definitely a good time there, man. I really did like it. And what I was gonna ask you, Al, is that without spoiling it again, is like, did the movie live up to your hopes, or did it just not?
It did and it didn't.
Right.
It did in the sense that, like I said, 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's a long time to sit there, watch a movie, and stay engaged in a story. And
Yeah.
it did that. It was able to keep me interested. I didn't feel like, okay, this is dragging on too long. They could have definitely cut this out. But without spoiling it, they do rely a lot on the first movie.
Yeah, they brought it
Like,
back.
yeah, like to me,
So when you say they rely, I'm sorry to cut.
No,
in.
go
When
ahead, go
when
ahead.
you say they rely a lot on the first movie, did they do a lot of flashbacks, things like that?
I won't say flashbacks. I'll say a flash fill. There was a lot of gaps.
But visually, like they go back.
Oh, they go back. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
To me, they relied more. And again, this is why I made the comment. I would have to read the book to know if they had no choice but to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But they relied on the kids' version of the story, like part 1,
Right.
a lot in order to justify 2. And to me, I'm like, I don't know if that was necessary. Did they need to do that? Is that how this?
It was a lot of callbacks.
So,
a lot of
so
callbacks,
what I
yeah.
understand is that now the kids are grown up. Chapter 2 is them grown up,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of have to go back to that, right? They kind of
Well, without spoiling it, there's a reason why there's a lot of need to go back to the
Yeah.
past.
okay.
There's
It's very specific to them.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Which again, they don't. There's a part of that they don't explain why that happens.
All right. So
Why
question,
why the need for that arises?
the question I would have, if I guess answer it if you can without spoiling it, are they giving us insight into those kids? Because I remember, so I watched Chapter 1. They have their story, right? Are they giving us more insight into those kids and things in their own past that were not present in Chapter 1?
Yeah.
that's why I
that-
called it a flash fill. Like they
They filled in some voids for sure. Yeah.
yeah. Like
Okay.
there's gaps in the time in part 1.
Because for me,
and now you see
things
what
like
happened.
that would be interesting because when you see a character in a movie, you either love them or hate them or you don't even remember them, right? It's
Right.
kind of those are the 3 things, right? The don't remember them is kind of the gray area, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's never characters that are, for me anyway, that are like they're okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like they could have done it. Either I love them or hate them or meh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the one hand, when you see a movie and you make your decision about a character, if you identify with them, if you like them, if you would want to be friends with them, if you want to punch them in the face or whatever, like, so now I like stuff like that where now they come back and do another thing where you learn more about this character.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, maybe I wouldn't have felt that way about that character knowing that.
Absolutely. There's actually one character in particular that we find out something about them that we never even knew. And then when you think about it after the fact, you're like, that explains a couple of things about that person's choices of doing certain things.
Yeah.
And then also it's a part of what he's going through in this movie. And it's pretty intense and insane.
Yeah.
And I honestly, like, for me, when I think about this movie and I try to recommend to people, if you didn't see it Chapter 1, going into this movie, I don't think you're gonna enjoy it as much. It's still a good movie. It's still, something you should watch. But I think if you saw It Chapter 1, you need to see.
It doesn't really stand well on its own. It's part of a story.
It's definitely
It's
part of a
part of a
story.
bigger story.
Yeah, and I think without that whole It Chapter 1, you walk into this movie blind. You need to have seen It Chapter 1 because it literally just directly goes from where that ended. It keeps going from here, and then like he was saying, the flash fill, which is a first. I never heard that before.
That's why he's the man in the chair, bro.
Yeah, man in the chair, man. The what they filled in the story was something you didn't even realize you didn't get in the first one.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Oh, okay.
It's something that happens, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, is that what happened there? And you're like, oh, wow.
So wait, watching the first one, you should have been able to get it.
No.
Yeah,
they
for
hint
example,
at it.
yeah. For example, there's what they flash back to right at the end of a scene,
Okay.
and then they fill in what happened
After the
that.
scene.
Yes.
But I didn't. But it made me realize that I didn't notice that there had
See,
been
now-
too much.
now-
There
now I
had
wanna
been that
know-
much time
now I wanna
between
know
the
what
two
scene.
scenes.
Now I want to know
After
what
the
scene.
podcast.
Yeah.
No, I don't even want to know after the podcast.
Okay.
I'm like, you know what? I might have to come to your house and take it back from you
Okay.
and just like
Okay.
watch it and just see like
Yeah.
sit there like analyze.
And then the crazy part is they explain to you why we weren't told it in the first one.
Oh.
And that's even crazier because
See, now as you guys are talking, right? This is a great non-spoiler
yeah.
version of the review, right?
yeah.
I'm getting more and more intrigued
Yeah.
to want to see. Like, I want to go see the movie like right now
Yeah.
because of the way you guys are explaining it.
Now, the one thing I will tell people, if you're expecting a horror movie, there are elements in it that's scary, that is a horror movie, but in general, the whole 2 hour and 45 minutes,
So is it more
not
like
a
now
horror movie.
psychological thriller?
Like
maybe.
more drama. Yeah, because there's a lot of jump scenes, like those jump scares.
yeah.
Right.
yeah.
But even once the initial jump scare passes by, the scene extends. Like the scene, I mean, we've all seen it in the preview. The scene with the old woman in the apartment with
Yes.
Jessica Chastain.
That freaked me out. Like, with that part, that freaked me out.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. But then there's a bigger part to the scene later. There's a jump scare involved, but even after that's done, it's not overly scary what follows.
No, it's just like more information and
Yeah.
more like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
If anything, that's what I think I said more often than not. Like, oh, this is crazy. This is nuts. And there was even some parts, like even the beginning of the movie, Al, if you remember, it's freaking brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, yeah.
and Pennywise is brutal in this movie.
Well, yeah, last movie started off by biting off what's his name's arm.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
It definitely gets worse, man.
The one thing though that I found funny, and I was asking my wife about this because she's a fan of the movie. So I thought maybe she would know. The answer was like the whole concept of Pennywise was that he fed off your fear.
Right.
But a lot of the people he literally fed on in the two movies weren't scared of him. Like, it made me realize Georgie wasn't scared of him.
Right.
Georgie got lured in.
Right.
He wasn't scared, so there was no fear to feed off.
But he was feeding off of something, like, he was
No,
feeding
the
off
only
of
time
his.
you ever see him feed off of fear that I can recall was Stanley.
Yeah.
Right.
When they went to the
When they
But,
went to
with,
the
but with
oil
Georgie, he was feeding off of his love for his brother. Remember, he would not give up on his brother. So how did he lure him in? The bait was his little
But
brother.
that's what I'm saying. So he
Yeah.
lured him in, but but Georgie was never scared.
No.
The only time he
I
got
think
scared
I
was
think
when
there's
his
a
arm
fear,
got
of,
bit
the
off.
fear of the finality of his brother. Like,
Oh, you're thinking about Bill. That's
Bill,
what
I'm
you're-
sorry. Yeah.
No, Georgie.
Sorry,
was,
sorry.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's all right.
yeah, Georgie was the actual young kid that he
Yeah.
lured
Yeah, because
with the boat.
the young kid, there was no fear because even in when he was in the drain there, he was talking to him like he's a clown from.
I'm
the-
sorry. That's
the
right. Georgie
circus.
was
Yeah.
the looker. Yeah.
So I see what you're saying about that because I didn't think about that part. But it's funny you bring up that fear thing, and that's one of the.
Hold on, before
Yeah.
I'm sorry you bring that. He was afraid. Because he said Bill's gonna kill me if I lose the boat. He was afraid of disappointing Bill. Like, he didn't want to come back with having lost the boat. So even for us, like a little paper boat may not seem like a big thing, but for a little kid, the littlest things are like the end of their world. So I feel he could have been feeding on that kind of.
I don't know. I guess given the way like he would come out of the painting as the woman for Stanley, the way he was coming out, represent like imitating Georgie to scare Bill.
The headless kid.
Yeah,
for
the
Ben.
headless kill.
That
Like,
that was the one
to
yeah.
go after them with that kind of fear, and then everyone that he actually fed on.
Yeah,
Like,
because
there
even
wasn't-
even in this movie, the people he fed on, you don't think that they feared him, except the one kid, in the commercial shows, the Fun House.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was the only one that I was like, oh yeah, no, he's scared. But what's it called, man? I mean, it really isn't a horror movie, and the one thing I think that it lacks, this movie, that the It Chapter 1 had, was that, like, that adventure feel, that fun adventure feel with the kids doing their thing. Even though they're going through this horrific experience, there was still something about it being like, dude, these are just kids just trying to enjoy the summer. This is just, they're just trying to get through this together. And it's just that kind of like, that feeling wasn't there. It was more like, no, they're trying to get this mission accomplished.
Yeah.
And they're trying to do it this way, and they're going through different experiences.
Well, would
to go through
would
it.
you expect that feel from this type of movie, considering that this is them as adults? Wouldn't they have to be more? Wouldn't you expect adults to be more like, let's get this done, as opposed to
I guess
when it
for
comes
me-
to something like this?
For
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
what threw it off and was the first scene where they get together as adults, because I don't think this will ruin it too much. The movie opens as they're adults. They've gone on with their lives,
And they're all in a
And-
separate place.
and
when-
they're
Yeah,
all at separate
yeah,
places,
okay.
and then they all come together because of the events that are happening in Derry. That scene when they first come together and start bonding again as friends, forget it. Like, that felt like friends coming
That was
together,
amazing.
catching up. Like, you felt like, I would have loved
It
to
was a
have been
reunion,
there.
like,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Just
really cool.
hearing
really
them
cool.
joke
I was in the back,
around.
guys, I'm here, guys.
Nah, the whole theater actually was rolling in that
Oh,
in that
yeah,
scene. It was
yeah.
hilarious. There was a lot of funny parts.
Was,
and funny
was
things
Homeboy
going on.
still making his like dick jokes and stuff like that? Like,
No, but it was even funnier
Okay, all right,
jokes.
okay.
Well, and one thing I liked was they made reference to what they knew people liked from the first one. Like, he makes reference to the dick joke part when they go back in the house.
Yeah.
He goes,
It's a
"Oh,
good
what?
thing we're not measuring dicks.
Yeah,
Yeah, he mentions it. He's like, "Is that joking?"
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, because yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So I do like that they drew on what they.
A
knew
lot of
people.
it, and this is why I said that if you don't watch It Chapter 1, you may not be, you may not get the full experience that you should get, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of callbacks, even like some of the things that happen towards the end of It Chapter 1, there are parts that reflect those in this part, and it's really cool. There's even twists to some of the things you saw in the first one. It's done differently in the second one, but it's a callback because they're using the same kind of imagery and stuff like that. It's really cool, man. But it's getting really tough to like not say
spoil
certain things, man.
All right, so I have a question.
Go for it.
That doesn't ask necessarily about the story. So, the first chapter, obviously, that was them as kids. So now they're taking actors and actresses that are supposed to be the adult version of these kids all grown up. How did you feel about the castings?
Dude,
Oh, they
They killed
great.
it.
Yeah.
you can actually see the kids in these adults. It's so weird, dude.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't think they CGI in that part, because when they did CGI, we noticed.
Yeah.
But it was like, the one thing that I think is a reach is the most ridiculous one is Bill to James McAvoy.
Yeah.
Like, he plays the part well, but it's just like, it's as the rest of them, with Mike and Isaiah Mustafa is playing Mike,
Yeah.
crazy. Richie as Bill Hader is perfect.
Okay.
Okay. Stan, his adult version is Stan grown up, dude. and, and then a lot of the other characters, even Jessica Chastain is I forgot the girl's name.
Oh, Beverly.
Beverly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much the only one that I could be like, nah, that doesn't really work too well is Bill.
For me,
Yeah.
I look at Beverly as a child, and she looks like she would grow up to look like Molly Ringwald.
Molly
Kinda like
Ringwald, Amy
Not
Adams.
Jessica Chastain.
Yeah.
Like, that's we're talking about
But,
two.
dude, they pull it
There's
off.
Oh,
cute,
yeah.
and then there's Jessica Chastain, right?
Yeah.
Molly Ringwald is cute.
Yeah.
Jessica Chastain is Jessica Chastain.
They pull it off, man.
Yeah.
They definitely.
Okay.
You listen,
Especially
you-
the Eddie character. For
Oh,
me,
yeah.
that was like, they looked like they were the
They
full,
really
adult
hit that
version
on the
of-
head,
of the
man.
kid,
Whoever
yeah.
did casting for that movie hit it on the head, man.
Okay.
They did, man.
And then they had the mannerisms down, like
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Mannerisms, sayings, things that they did, act the way the person would have acted. Yeah, it's insane, man. It's really cool.
And what's the thing? I'm glad you brought him up. Isaiah Mustafa.
Yeah.
To me, I always call him the Old Spice guy.
Yeah.
He impressed me in this movie. Like, I don't know if I've never seen him in anything else,
Right.
but in terms of this movie, if this is his coming out, I hope to now see him in a lot of other movies because he did a real good job.
A lot of those people, the people who weren't the main attractions, like Bill and Beverly, right? Those actors we know, McAvoy and Chastain. But the guy who played Ben, I've never really seen him in a lot of things either. He did great. Mustafa did great. Dude, Bill Hader, as much as I loved him on Saturday Night Live and he does Stefan, right? And all that stuff like that. And I've seen him in other shows and he's funny.
Yeah.
This is the first time I saw him and he actually impacted me because at the end of the movie, something happens to him and he emotes something, right? And dude, I felt it, man.
Yeah.
I felt it in my heart and I was like, nah, it's not going to go down in the theater, man. It's not going to go down for this. Not for it. Not for it Chapter 2, right? So, but listen, to kind of end this and put a wrap on it, man. Al, you heard me. I said, listen, if you haven't seen It Chapter 1, I think you should still see this movie. If you saw It Chapter 1, you need to see this movie.
Oh, definitely. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. And then I think Sanj says he's going to try to watch it this week. Possibly.
I'm gonna try to get not try. I will get it done this week. Babysitter
problem,
or
man.
no, if we've got to go separately to see it,
All right.
That's just what's gonna happen.
All right, man, because I know Brandon wants to definitely have a take on this. He had a couple of things that you told me
No,
about.
we definitely have to talk about
Yeah.
it, and we can't,
Of course, man. So, all right, guys. So that's our non-spoiler review for It Chapter 2. You heard us. We're saying to go see this movie because it's really good. I know a lot of the critics out there are kind of like, they're not killing it. They're just not saying it's great. They're comparing it to Chapter 1.
Don't worry about critics.
Yeah.
Listen to us.
Make your own opinion also. You know what I mean? Go out there. Go check it out for yourself.
On the Hobbs scale, it's a must go see in the theater.
For us, need to see.
Okay.
Yeah, but for people who like I said, hey, if whatever weirdo hasn't seen Chapter 1, yeah, you should go see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So absolutely, man. But let's see what else we're gonna talk about today, man.
Before you go on,
yeah, go for it.
That was a great non-spoiler review, guys.
Dude, it was so hard, dude. There's a couple of times I'm about to say something about
because I want to go see. I want to go see it more now, and I have no idea what's gonna happen.
It's good, man. Definitely, man. So something I thought that all of us would love, man, is I saw a trailer come out this week, and when I saw it, I think I know what
you're gonna say.
Not even 5 minutes after I watched the trailer, my phone pings Sanjay. Y'all, check this out. Bad boys.
You could have texted me back to say that though. Like I gotta wait for till whole week to find out that I actually like.
Life is
we
crazy
were like
right
simpatico.
Now.
Like come on,
dude, that was amazing because you sent it literally. I watched it. I was about to send it to everybody too. And then I get it from side, like, this is great. We're all thinking the same. Like, it's crazy.
We're all looking at news and stuff. We're all doing all the same stuff at the same time. Like, so,
we're movie fans.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Monday morning is when you look for the new stuff, Yeah.
So, I mean, listen, I know, if I know you guys like I know you guys are interested in seeing this movie.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sanjay's nodding yes.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Both the movies are right over there. I'm like, all right, this week I might have to rewatch Bad Boys 1 and 2. I don't care what people think.
Now
I think I have to sit down with my son. Cars.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In it and everything. So yeah, he's gonna have to see that.
Now, do you guys get I didn't see a date of when is this thing's coming out.
That's it. We didn't get a date.
No release date on there, right? Let's see.
No, not that I remember.
Right, because it was a preview for it. I didn't even know it was coming. I heard they were working on it, but at the same time,
January.
Oh wow,
okay.
January. So we got some time.
Yeah, January 17th is what they're listing it as for now.
That's really good because we'll be coming out of Christmas and New Year's with Star Wars and everything.
Yeah,
and then that'll be a great way to spark off next year.
Absolutely, man. Because listen, Sanj, what's your take on that trailer, man?
I think it was just incredible. They scale it up. It looks like they're scaling it up. It looks like they have a whole team of forensic people now that's just for them. It's like they're Batman and Robin, except without any mask or anything. And then the banter between the two of them is hilarious. I just love it. I can't wait. I can't wait. So one of the things I thought when I saw it. So when we went back to when we were talking about Fast and the Furious, and how Brandon was like, hey. yo, if you mash up and like Fast and the Furious 10 should be them meeting the Transformers, you know, and then we go Optimus Dom or whatever, Optimus Toretto, like or whatever, right? I'm just like, this would actually be a more realistic mashup where if they were in the same place at the same time, you could see it working.
Right.
And I'm thinking like, yo, there might be an avenue for that. That's what I thought.
You got to send that note out to Universal.
Listen, man.
Get the bad boys in there.
I know, right? Like to join the family, you know what I mean?
Oh, my God. Al, man, what'd you think of the trailer?
It was good because it felt like it's going to take off, obviously, years after the first one. But, like, almost like the feeling of, like, it hadn't, all this time hadn't just passed.
Right.
You know, it's like kind of like when you haven't seen a friend in like years.
Yes, exactly.
And you just pick off right where you guys left off, and like no time passed. That's what it feels like. Like we're about to just go watch this movie as if Bad Boys 2 came out last week, and we're just catching up.
Yeah,
you know?
Listen, man. One of my favorite movies watching is Bad Boys 2. Bad Boys 2 was incredible. And that's, to me, what's the guy who does all the explosions? Michael Bay?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did the first one and the second one, Michael Bay, man. And I'm like, oh, my God. I love this, man. So that's when they say Transformers be done by Michael Bay, I was like, oh, shit, let's do this.
Yeah.
But Bad Boys 2, you hit it right on the head, Al, man. To me, it was like, these are my boys. I'm seeing them again. They're coming back, you know, and I'm definitely gonna see this movie when it comes out. If you guys haven't seen the trailer, you know, just do the YouTube there, do a YouTube trailer for Bad Boys. It's called Bad Boys for Life, I think it is.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be insane. It's what is it? Mike Lowry. and Martin Lawrence, man, seeing him come back again. You know what I mean? Like he's disappeared. I remember when you know I was in like either high school or college. Seeing Martin Lawrence on his comedies, you know, he did the movie with the diamonds. He did the movie. What else he did?
Big Mama's House.
Right, that, and then his comedy specials, Run Tell That, and all that.
And then remember the Martin Show.
Martin Show, period. Yeah,
Martin.
There was a talk of them bringing it back for a little while, actually.
There was, because they're bringing every show back.
That's
because
Netflix.
They can't. Well, not even Netflix. I mean, because there's nothing good. There's no original idea on TV. It's like, you know what? Let's just, instead of copycatting and making it like something that you could see that they bit off of something else,
right?
Let's just bring them back.
Yeah, man. So crazy, man. But so that again, Bad Boys for Life. Go look at the trailer on YouTube. And then also, man, we on the news, Al brought this up to me. He showed me that Mission Impossible 7 and 8 have been greenlit.
Yep.
And they're featuring
Haley Atwell is going to be playing.
Peggy Carter.
Yeah, Peggy Carter to everybody else from the MCU. But yeah, it's coming out. One's going to be 2021, and then another one 2028.
Now, you guys have all seen all the Mission Impossibles right now?
I have not seen all the Mission
I think
Impossibles.
I've caught up on all of them, man. What's the last one you saw?
I think like 3.
3? Yeah. So
no, 4, because I remember 4.
4?
Okay,
yeah. I saw all of them pretty much. I think the last one is the one where I wasn't too happy about. That was Fallout. Yeah, Fallout. It started off cool, looked great, but it wasn't all that to me. Yeah. But the other ones, 4 and 3, were my favorites. They're absolutely amazing.
Here's the thing: to keep something going that long,
yeah,
it just has to get more and more ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right now, that works for me for like Fast and the Furious because it's cars and it doesn't try to be serious about it. Like we get it, you know, we get it. This is just imagination here. Mission Impossible to me feels like it's trying to be serious, and I'm like, no, this is ridiculous. Yeah. Like, come on, like almost like John Wick, how he gets hit by 2 cars and just gets up and then uses a horse to beat people up. You know what I mean? Like
the Baba Yaga.
The Baba Yaga, yeah. But for some reason, for me, it works in John Wick.
Right.
It works in Fast and the Furious. Does not work in Mission Impossible for me. I'm just like, I guess in that role, I just can't take Tom Cruise that seriously in that role. Yeah. Otherwise, bring back Top Gun. I'm ready.
All right. Yeah, man. For me, man, like I said, I just finished watching Mission Impossible Fallout maybe about 2-3 months ago, and before I watched Fallout, I had rewatched all the Mission Impossible. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to them kind of getting back to Ghost Protocol and to the I forgot what the third one was called, but Ghost Protocol was one of my favorites, and the third one also I liked. So I'm hoping to get back to that, into that type of story, type of aspect, instead of trying to get too crazy. Because I think in Fallout they did the where the plane was like super high in altitude plane. And it was a high altitude jump. Like, all right, cool. but the parachute didn't work, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, a spoiler alert, of course, for people who didn't see it. But yeah, man. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I would love to see that first trailer before I guarantee that I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Mission Impossible is
And
definitely
so
up
far,
there.
every time they've brought somebody in, like they have added to the franchise.
Oh yeah,
Like they brought Paula Patton in, they brought Henry Cavill in on Fallout. Now they bring in Haley Atwell, so it'll be interesting to see how she adds to the story.
yeah.
Is
Man.
she part of his team or is she part of whatever he's going against? It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. And then that leads us to the last topic for today, man. Today, we're really kind of low on the movie news there, but there is something I wanted to talk about because I thought about it when I was getting ready for It Chapter 2. And I realized it's more of a routine than I know. I just realized that I actually do this. And this is so ridiculous. So I knew I was going to see It Chapter 2. I had these dried up contacts in my eyes, and I refused to change them until Friday. So because I knew Friday I wanted the freshest pair of contacts on my eyes to watch this movie without any kind of blur or eye feeling sensation, right? And then I realized like I did the same thing for Endgame. And
No,
then
because you don't want anything spoiling the experience. Like, I gotta have fresh contacts. Like, well, why do you think I switched to dailies? Like, so every day a brand new pair of contacts.
Dude,
I don't have to worry about
it's
that. Yeah.
insane, man. And I realized because I even tried going to the theater to see a movie with my glasses on.
Nope.
And I remember I ended up laughing a lot, and for some reason it was hurting my ears. The glasses there. So what's it called? I that's something I realized is a routine that I do with any kind of big movie. I get my contacts kind of like in line with, or I'm gonna change my contacts that night when I get to see that movie there. So that was one thing I do. Then another thing I realized I do a lot is when I go to the theaters, and I've kind of cut back on this, but I've always been infamous for this: mozzarella sticks.
Oh,
Dude, I love me some mozzarella sticks.
You do. Which reminds me of a story where one time you ordered mozzarella sticks. I would think it was like an order, and like 6 mozzarella sticks or 8 mozzarella sticks came in the order. You went to the bathroom. Your mozzarella sticks were delivered while you were at the bathroom. The rest of us on the table grabbed the mozzarella stick. You came back. You still had like 5 of them left, and you like, "Hey, you guys want one?" And we all took. You got 1 mozzarella stick out of the whole order. Everybody else got 2. You did not know.
Yeah.
oh man.
See, the nice guy always gets taken advantage of, right? Yeah.
I love mozzarella sticks. I used to do that a lot, but I've cut back on that. But the one thing I still kind of do that I refuse to let go of is my blue raspberry icy.
Mm.
Is it a slushy?
It's a Slurpee.
Yeah,
It's the same thing as a Slurpee from.
No, but what do they
Sim-
call them? Is slush puppies or something like that?
No,
Icy. I think they call them icy.
I thought I thought the name of the company was slush puppies or something like that. But dude,
I mean, different theaters have different.
yeah. I love
brands or
blue raspberry icy, man. I get a medium because I got a large once, and the shit was a popcorn tub.
Yep.
I was like, "What is this?" It's like, "It's a large." I'm like, "No, no, no! I'm gonna pass out from a sugar coma with that thing."
Oh my god.
So
Yeah.
right now,
It's called diabetes. It's an epidemic.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to avoid that epidemic, man. So I've actually cut back on that too. I've been like, even for It Chapter 2, I got a bottle of water. It was like $5 for a freaking bottle of water. But the blue raspberry ice, the mozzarella sticks, the new contacts, and I was like, I wonder if I'm the only weird one that does shit like this, like where I just got like this almost like a routine thing that I do when I go see this new movie that I'm excited for. Sans, do you have anything like that, or is there anything like, even if you just go to the movies, is there like a certain snack?
I gotta get the same icy, except I don't get blue raspberry. I get the Coca-Cola
Coca-Cola icy,
or whatever cola version they
Uh-huh.
have. Sometimes some of them use Coca-Cola, some use Pepsi, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just the Coca-Cola version. I like to get some popcorn, especially if I'm with Nina or one of the kids.
Yeah, yeah.
They gotta have popcorn.
Yeah, my wife is like that,
Yeah.
dude. She gotta have popcorn.
Gotta have the popcorn
with the butter on the top all over.
But that goes so well with the soda Slurpee
Uh-huh.
or the slushy or whatever. And the
Yeah.
thing is, we don't give our kids soda and everything. And like I tried for years to get off soda, and I finally got off. But when I go to the theater, that's like the only time they get soda, because I'm like, nah, I'm in the theater. I have to have my
yeah.
salt and sweet, like, and then
yeah.
just sit there and like crunch the whole time. Like,
Is there any kind of candy that you get there, or just pretty much just popcorn?
I'll try to bring some M&Ms.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they charge mad money for the M&Ms in the theater, so
Yeah,
I'll try
yeah.
to bring in some M&Ms.
I got you.
But then again, that's a lot of sugar, so I've cut
Uh-huh.
back on the M&Ms.
any kind of routine like before the movie, or like Besides putting on the Real Fan Review shirt that we put on now.
Well, I was about to say that has become routine. Like anywhere, like when I'm stepping into, I don't step into a theater now without identifying myself as a podcaster about movies. You know, and whatnot.
Absolutely. Promotion.
No one pays attention to me anyway.
Now one person come up to me like, you're Ha from the Real Fan Review.
Yeah.
One day, guys.
One day. Right?
Now, how about you, man? Any kind of movie routines for you, man?
Basically, just when I get there, no matter what movie I'm watching, I need my nachos with cheese.
Yes.
And a small soda.
All right.
That's it.
Yep.
I get
That's right. You always get them nachos. That's
nachos
right.
and cheese. That's
All right,
it.
you know
and a
what?
soda.
So
And
sometimes, all right. So if I ever if I ever get to the movie theater before you, because sometimes we're running late, whatever, I will make sure we get in line and like we're gonna order nachos and everything.
Yeah.
All right. So now I know exactly what. So whoever gets there first, know what to get, so that we don't miss any previews or anything like that.
And then my big problem with that is they don't give you that much cheese.
No. They
So-
load the freaking plastic tray with nachos.
Nachos,
but,
yeah.
Oh, is
So-
it a box now?
Yeah,
No, it's a
well,
plastic-
it depends on where you go.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like a little, but it's trying to calculate how much cheese to put on each chip so that I still
doing an
have
equation.
cheese
So now-
at the end.
So now, would you prefer if they just drown your nachos in cheese?
Oh yeah,
So why don't you ask for that then?
because they'll charge you like $3 more.
I'll pay that for you. If that's like what it takes for your
When I
happiness,
used
like
to
I'll
work at the theater, forget it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because back then we just had the big tub and you was
Just squeeze the thing on
yeah,
top.
squeeze out. So I would load it up.
processed cheese products.
Oh, God.
Not even cheese. Processed cheese
Whatever
product.
they used was delicious.
Oh, my God. That's the one thing I always
There's probably
wondered.
some of it still stuck in your veins right
Oh,
now. Like,
probably. It would explain a lot.
I always wondered to myself, how come I never freaking worked for the movie theaters, man? As much as I love movies, man.
Oh,
I think
man,
it would have
that
been
was
interesting.
It was the best. That was the best job.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What made it the best, man?
Well, I guess just the memories that came with it. Like,
Yeah, walkie-talkies?
yeah, just the stuff we would do between movies while we were supposed to be cleaning it up. And
Can you clear up this rumor for me, man?
What's up?
Do you guys get to see the movies beforehand? Or did you used to?
for some of the movies,
isn't
yeah.
that G14 classified?
Yeah, no. No, for some of them, if they would do it, because what would happen was back then, I'm aging myself with this, but it was on reels. So sometimes the guys in the projector would have to run it through to make sure the film was fine and everything. So sometimes they would let you go just watch it while they were screening it to make sure the film was good. So yeah, sometimes you got to see it before it came out, but
Yeah.
But that was the best part. Just, okay, no matter what movie I wanted to see, I could go whenever I wanted, just walk in and watch it. Yeah.
So you speak about the reels with the movies, whatever. So part of working at the library too was that they would have movie showings at the library in the little room downstairs. So it was a big theater back then. The movies were on reels. I would run the projector, so I'd sit there and be at work watching a movie. So one summer was the summer that Star Trek V came out.
Yeah.
I had to show that movie so many damn times.
And that's the one you hate.
And that's the one I hate.
I it's funny, the you guys say the projector reel. My father had one in his closet somewhere. I remember we used to find it, and on the projector reel would be cartoons. He'd had Iron Man. He also had a Spider-Man one.
Oh, wow.
And he had something else, man. I can't remember what it was, man. But it was like cartoon stuff that he would have on reels. And it was awesome. And we would do the projector on the wall and everything like that. It's really cool, man.
Yeah.
But I was trying to think like Brandon. What Brandon does for the movies. I know he likes the peach gummies.
Shows up 2 minutes before the movie. That's Brandon's routine.
Dude, you guys remember Endgame?
Oh my God! And
like-
you had to go out. I think you left his ticket out there, like.
Yeah, man. Because the movie started at 6:30.
Yeah.
He thought we were gonna be at the movie at 7, so he was leaving at 6:30 when the movie started.
No, remember you left his ticket out there. Like, no, I'm not going out to give him his movie. Yeah,
I was like, "Ma'am, can you please? He's gonna look just like me, just shorter." Yeah, man. But yeah, those are definitely some movie routines there.
that'd be funny if like when people do know, it's like have him wear your shirt. Then people are like, so you're Hoff. I thought you'd be taller.
Insane, man. Yeah, man. And I'm trying to think of anything else, man, because usually like like what movies, like besides like when you go out with your wife, what movie showings do you usually go to? You usually do like a Saturday in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon, or Friday night, Saturday night?
Well, we used to like doing like Friday night.
Yeah.
That's when we would usually go to a movie. When it was just us.
Yeah.
But now it's whenever we can.
I got
you know, if it's when I'm going by myself with most of the movies now that I watch is by myself because but Nina's just not interested in all the movies that we're interested in.
Gotcha.
I go before work. Remember, my work schedule. So I'll go in the morning. So like whatever the first showing is, I get the kids out, get them to school, do everything, make sure I'm prepped and everything, and I go to a movie.
Gotcha, man. And how about you? You and the wife? I know the wife likes to watch horror movies.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you guys go at night, or you guys?
And actually, because she gets so scared in the movies, we go to like a matinee.
Okay, good.
This way, when we come out,
it's nice and sunny.
It's nice and sunny.
Yeah, man. Me and the wife, man. Right, when we do go to the movies, it's always like either Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, whichever night the kids are not acting up the most. We try to take one of those nights and go to the theater, man. And it's always interesting, man. But yeah, man. Listen, for next week on the Real Fan Review, man, what we're gonna be talking about is Hustlers. Yeah. I think we're gonna try to get some more people to come in for the podcast to come, give their take on it. It'd be nice to have the females' take on it because it's like this movie about stripping and all this stuff like that, and what these strippers do. So just to not sound like complete like assholes.
All right, so I'm gonna throw this out there.
Go for it.
I could be completely out of left field, but I'm gonna try anyway. Should we try to get some strippers to talk about the movie about strippers?
Oh, hell no. Vamos. Yeah, man. Now, that was an interesting concept, man.
Can you imagine us going into a stripper? Hey, so are you guys available Sunday night?
You guys want to talk about a movie?
I can just be like this. Say, well, we do have Sunday night specials if there's depending on how many girls. I'm like, no, not for that.
Oh my God. Yeah, man, but Hustlers should be cool, man. And Jennifer Lopez in this movie, and every time my wife sees the commercial, she's like, yeah, I definitely want to see that there. So I was like, all right, cool. So hopefully we'll get, my wife will come back. Anybody else with a wife wants to be a part of it, feel free. And then we'll have Brandon back next week also. So, again, guys, this is the Real Fan Review. You can find us at therealfanreview@gmail.com. Wait, that's the email address. TheRealFanReview.com is our web address where you can just leave us notes. You can see our podcast on there. You guys can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And what I've been doing is every Monday night or every Tuesday night, I try to put out the movies that are coming out for that week so everyone's ahead of the game. They know what to kind of expect for the week. And also I try to do some funny memes on Instagram. So follow us on The Real Fan Review at Instagram. And again, this is Hav, Sanj, and Al today. We'll have B back next week, and we'll give you guys a It Chapter 2 spoiler review, and we'll go over Hustlers as well.
And speaking of, last week we celebrated 25 episodes.
25 episodes last week, man.
Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, man. It's awesome, man. We've been doing this for 26 weeks straight.
We're
going to keep going.
That's right.
All right, guys. So we'll catch you next week. This is Hav again for The Real Fan Review. Have a good night.